Host of Forged in Fire.
Kyle Mann.
I'm G. Warner Wallace.
Kira Davis.
It's Ben Adams.
Hey, this is Dave Baker.
Carrie Pomeroli.
This is Mike Reiner.
This is Ethan Nicole.
This is Liam Morgan.
It's Graham Parker, the 5th GP, and this is why you should never.
How I got suckered in.
I'm so embarrassed that I'm here.
You're wasting your time. You got better things to do.
Never listen.
Those darling, yummy Reverend and the Reprobate.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Reverend and the Reprobate, just two best buds interviewing people that they have no business talking to. My name is Lucas Pinkert. I'm an actual Reverend.
And he's talking at 2-point speed right now.
Let's
get started.
Is
Here
a man
go.
whose mom
Okay.
is about to make her TTC debut as one of their newest subjects. It's Big Dan
that's
Flip
great.
Gibson.
Yeah, my mom is on next week's episode.
Yes.
Check it out. Check
Yeah.
them out. Tea Time Crimes. They're on Twitter. They're on everywhere that you can find podcasts.
And social medias.
And
Rage and
Tea Time
Meagan
Crimes.
is going to be, you know what we should do? We should just create a whole fake story, and that should be an episode of Tea Time Crimes, is them just telling the story of your mom. She would love it, and she would kill us.
She would find humor in it.
I think so, yeah. We just
I
have
don't
to
know
make
if I
sure
would go as
that
far as love.
she would see it as an extension of care from us. This is how we show love. Look,
It is.
Look, we enshrined you as a false criminal.
Look, when I talked about
false
putting you in
criminal
a
on a true
home, it's
crime
because I
podcast.
loved you. It's out
I
of
want to
love.
I want to make sure you're taken care of, right?
Yeah.
I don't want Julia to end up with you.
So this week's episode
is with the
Tea
ladies
Time-
of Tea Time
TTC.
Crimes. Yeah,
The Tea Time Crimes gals.
Meagan and Alana
the
are back.
princesses of podcasting.
That is correct. They talked to us a little bit about the new stuff that they've got going on with their show. We give them some gifts that are going to quite literally haunt their dreams, thanks to R.L. Stein. We get a tea review from Alana, and we talk to them a little bit about their processes whenever they're handling true crimes that have to deal with obscure mental illnesses, as well as some things that maybe dabble just a little bit into the supernatural. It's quite an interesting episode. Make sure that you check it out. Like, subscribe if you enjoy the stuff that we're coming out with. Ding the little bell so that you get notifications whenever we've got new episodes. And without any further ado...
Hi, Tina. Let's go. Tea Time Crimes.
I'm Meagan.
And I'm Guy Lana.
And this is Felonies with a Break and Coffee.
Yeah. Coffee break felons.
Coffee break felonies. I was so close.
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
That was really good.
Thank you very much. Well, Fwip, on our sweet, clean airwaves today, we have back the lovely ladies from Tea Time Crimes.
Who set this microphone?
Thank you for having us back.
Yeah, so Meagan and Alana, what's been going on, ladies? How are y'all?
Good.
Yeah.
It's always how she answers
I'm
me
always
too.
good with the intros.
Don't say another word.
Just give her a minute.
That was
She'll warm up.
perfect.
Won't be able to stop her.
Yeah. Well, after listening to a couple of the latest episodes, I have a question about your earmuff policy and whether or not it should continue, because as Meagan mentioned, Alana's attitude does not match the tone of the episode when she hasn't heard about people being cut in half. Everybody else was listening and are so sad, and Alana's like, Oprah loves bread.
I mean, she does.
What else does Oprah love?
doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
give
don't
us-
know.
Do you got like a
It's usually not that gory, though.
I want
so.
3 more things that Oprah loves
Yeah,
right
what's
now.
the top 5, bottom 5 things that Oprah loves?
She loves scenic views. She loves bubble baths, wine, bread, and then definitely a charcuterie board.
I love those things too. That's just generally good things.
I also think Gail. She really likes
She
Gail.
likes Gail.
Yep.
She's always liked Gail.
Yeah, well, Gail's entire career is based off of being a friend of Oprah, just like Billy Gibbons was friend of Eric Clapton. Well, we have
still is.
Yeah. We've sent to you two ladies in advance a couple of packages that we want you to go ahead and open, and we're going to start with Alana, and I'll give a little bit of backstory about why this is. So last time we had y'all on the show, we know that Alana and Meagan hate coffee, and so we thought, hey, we'll be clever and we'll send them some coffee. We also sent some tea from the Beatitudes Tea Room, which Alana struggled with pronouncing and was
I really did.
Really?
That was tough.
The Beatitudes. Beatitudes.
They too.
Yep, which she opened and thought, they sent me coffee in tea bags.
Yes.
Because it was a little dark and looked like coffee. Well, thematically, we wanted to stay with the same type of thing. So we sent them some gifts, and then afterwards, they were very kind and sent us some things. We got a couple of really nice outfits for the sweet baby Levi, the Reverend baby. Got an outfit with some mushrooms on it, which he rather enjoyed. And then I think the other one was just a Tea Time Crimes outfit, right? Is that correct?
It was a teacup that said,
"Yeah, that's
what
right.
a cute tea."
That's it. So he is wearing the mushroom onesie quite a bit lately, which
Love it. Hey, can I show you something real quick?
Why not?
So Megan got, I think I mentioned this on one of the podcasts, but
You
Megan
did.
got me this shirt. It says milk, and before your mind jumps around, it is mushrooms I'd like to forage. And it's a helpful guide. It's the
meant
checklist.
to save her life. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why it's
Again, foraging for mushrooms can be very dangerous.
It can.
It can be if you're not mushrooming with
confidence.
That's right, which is the name of the book that Alana recently got right before our last episode. So, Alana, if you'll just go ahead and open that package.
Okay.
And
I
now-
feel like I'm going to break something on my desk.
No, well, let's hope not. So this will give away a little bit about what's going on in Megan's package, but not everything, right? Because we did want to be a little themed.
popcorn.
Oh,
Yeah, there is some
Gosh.
popcorn. I think that's
I gotta
biodegradable.
pick those up because the cats get in here.
this is how detailed we're going to get.
What is popcorn made out of? Styrofoam?
I
Yes.
think, peanuts.
Yeah.
So
Or are they
Alana,
called peanuts?
yeah, how many
Yeah.
how many squirrels are you currently housing?
2.
2, right?
Have you
Sorry,
named
this
them
is
yet?
taking so long. No,
You got to get on that.
I know. Okay. I think it's a drinking apparatus.
It is a drinking apparatus. Nailed it.
A live unboxing.
Yeah, this is their
Love
first
this stuff.
unboxing video.
Used a good amount of tape. Good job.
Oh,
Thank you.
I love it. Can you read it? Is it backwards?
No,
Keep calm and drink tea.
Nice.
there you go, and that's actually from London, England.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Thank you.
give us your British accent then.
yeah.
Is this from London?
Nailed it.
Cheers. Thanks,
Really,
guys.
really well done.
So sweet.
Yeah, there should be some more things in there, I believe.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's
Really?
a little more.
yeah.
in there.
I was done with it. I was about to throw it. Oh, it's hiding in this mysterious paper bag here.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So we decided to make up for our previous crimes
Of sending coffee.
of sending coffee,
Tea. Oh my God.
and so we sent
Look at all this.
we sent several sachets
Wow.
of tea.
Is that what an individual wrapping is called? As a sachet?
That's a sachet.
It's a sachet.
No, it's not called that.
It's a sachet.
Thank you.
No, a sachet is
Thank
the way that
you.
like somebody in a ballroom gown walks. That is a sachet.
There's
Yeah.
Hey, y'all heard the
3
pronunciation.
gets 1.
Boom. All right, so thank you very much for coming back on the show. Since you already have tea, we might grab a tea review from you later, as long as you stay away from the rooiboos and the beatitudes. Then I think we'll be all good. Meagan, we also got you a gift. Now yours is a little bit more specific than Alana's, right? So yours has a direction which you have to open it. So there
very
is
specific.
a this end up on yours.
It says this side up.
It's an
Yep. So
arsenic
make sure
bomb.
that side is up, right? So you should have like 4 sides that say this side up.
It's a puzzle. She's good at puzzles, though.
Yeah.
It's sort of a puzzle.
Have you guys ever done an escape room?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are y'all
but not
awesome
together.
at it? Why not together?
We should film one together, Megan.
We're rarely in the same space.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Y'all should remedy that.
would thematically go with your show too.
It would.
It really would.
Oh man, I should have got scissors. Well, okay. For the sake of the microphone, I also got a matching cup.
It's the reverse. Yep. It's
Yeah.
white.
Yes.
White
Mine's
with red
red.
instead of red with white.
Is it?
It's
Is
inverted.
it also from
Yes.
London?
It is also from London. That
No, yours is not from London.
That's a matching set of Keep Calm and Drink Tea cups from London, England that we got
awesome.
for y'all. Now,
Can you do a Cockney accent too?
You
Who,
have to
me or
leave me
Alana?
off.
yeah, Cockney is like how Ozzy Osbourne talks.
Go on,
Oh.
Megan.
I don't know. I don't think I have a reference for that. Maybe
It's
Eliza
like
Doolittle.
a
I like
dirty
a cup
British.
of tea.
There you go.
There you go.
That's it.
There you
go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, so now there's a
Okay.
second part to Megan's gift, and you'll just remove that piece of paper that is separating it.
Hold on, it's taller than me, so I have.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Whenever you're ready, brace yourself.
It's taller than you. Excuse me.
No.
Show it right now.
Nope.
Yeah.
Show it.
Go ahead. Show everybody. Show everybody
Oh my God.
what was
This-
in the package.
This was packed with care.
This was packed with love and
Yes,
Megan. What do you have?
you win. Yeah, describe every detail.
Yeah,
please,
yeah,
so
talk
that
to
you
us
get
a
into
little-
your dreams.
Talk
I
to us a
have,
little bit about what you've got.
Something haunting my dreams. I have a friend. My 5-year-old wants a ventriloquist dummy because he wants it to come alive and do evil things. And he has put a wish into the Easter Bunny.
Nice.
He has requested it for his birthday. And he has most recently made a wish on a dandelion.
Oh,
And
this is
here
getting
it
serious.
is.
Whoa, wish fulfilled
There
by
we
the
go.
Reverend and the
Bringing it
Reprobate.
through.
We did it.
One of us will be
the Easter
very
Bunny
excited.
and that dandelion and Bert Kreischer, whoever else you said, came to us and told us about this, and we wanted to make your little boy's dreams come true.
Oh,
with
God, it's so terrifying.
with the most evil
This is
doll on the
great.
planet.
So, did you guys? If I remember correctly, he wants an evil ventriloquist friend who will come to life and help him pull pranks. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Well, so if you've ever read the Goosebump books,
That's where he got it. Slappy.
That is Slappy.
Yep, that's what he wants. Slappy.
And it actually
Loves
has-
Slappy. He has a.
it's
Last
got
night
the-
he had a Slappy T-shirt on.
Wow.
It's got the Scholastic stamp on his foot because they're the ones that make it.
Did you know what it was immediately when you opened it? Like who it was?
Yeah, I know it was Slappy. You know how many times I've seen Slappy? Yeah.
Oh, this is terrible.
Well,
This
Slappy's
is awesome.
Slappy's got some really great features.
Yeah. Tell
he
me about
has-
those features.
He has a pull string which you can open and close his mouth.
Oh, God.
And
Yes.
and
Let's take him
also
out.
Slappy's
We're all in
eyes
now.
glow in the dark.
She loves you guys right now.
Yeah, so when you put that in
Look
your
at his
sweet
creepy
little
feet.
Oh, I don't need to see that. Nope.
Oh, you're seeing it.
No, I'm not.
You laughed.
there you go.
Oh, I'm gonna keep laughing.
Oh,
There is
God, look.
Slappy. Yep. And
You're gonna
his-
have-
and his glow in the dark
Why
eyes.
is his
gonna have-
eyebrows like that?
Hello.
You're gonna have so many nights filled with pranks now.
Oh no, no.
Hi, Alana. What's
Nope.
up? Yeah, it's terrifying.
That's how he's gonna talk to you for the rest of the time now.
So to make it better, we actually have a friend of ours who we interviewed last week, who is a ventriloquist and comedian. And he gave us instructions during our episode on how to start using the ventriloquist puppet so that whenever your son is ready, he'll be able to do it. We asked some very specific questions to the very funny comedian Dave Pendleton, who is a ventriloquist performer, about how would you get started? What if you had a ventriloquist puppet that just had a string to move his mouth? And he walks us through step by step exactly
Perfect.
how to do it. So that episode
really
will
looking out
air.
for us over here.
That episode will air next week, so that and I believe we followed the instructions. The instructions were, don't send this grandma or aunts and uncles, right?
He said,
we
I
are not.
blanketed it with family.
Yep,
Oh.
and we are not family. It was also said that we should not send the gift directly to the child because if they were going to get it, it was going to come from mom or dad. So you'll see
Yes.
there's no labels or anything so that you guys can be the heroes. And we're just
Oh
trying
no,
to
I'll
help.
give credit.
We're just trying to help make a little boy's dreams come true to have his own.
You
know,
have. I realized that he's
terrifying
not
little
letting this
puppet.
go, and I was like, well, I was, talking to the Easter Bunny, getting ready for that.
And here comes the Easter Bunny
Here
in
it
a
comes.
2-man form.
Yep, with glow in the dark eyeballs.
It's
And
like that
Sans
Seinfeld with
egg.
Mr. Marbles. Do you know?
Yes.
Yeah, like it's that. It's
There you
just
go.
gonna be all night.
And after our episode with Dave Pendleton airs, we'll just cut out the part where he's giving specific instructions on how to start your ventriloquism career with the proper record that you should buy, as well as how to get started with just a puppet with one string on it, and how to enlist your grandma for help and making sure that all your ventriloquism dreams come true. And we'll just cut that up and dedicate that specifically to y'all, so that whenever the Easter Bunny does deliver it, that you'll be ready to go.
The secret is...
Tonight.
Oh, nice.
Oh, boy.
I'm all in now.
The secret...
I mean, might as well make this work for me.
But is Brad going to hate us?
Maybe a little.
Okay. Well, we'll have to send Brad something next time. We'll send him
a Chucky.
Well, we know. Yeah. We've got some connections to Jason Witten. Maybe we'll send him like something that was signed by Jason Witten, because Witten was a good volunteer, and Brad's a Tennessee fan.
Love that.
Yeah. We'll just call Jason Witten.
Yeah, we'll get this all glossed over with Brad. Don't worry about it.
Great.
We'll make that happen.
Perfect. The only reason that Brad won't like it is for, I mean, he's not scared of it like me, but we are going to have to do the voice.
Oh no!
For like the end of time, we're gonna have to talk.
You're gonna do that voice on our next podcast, by the way.
Well, the secret to using or to becoming a ventriloquist is in the tongue, as is tasting this week's tea.
Yeah. So
wow, look at that segue.
Man, it's
way to call it out.
I'm putting a bow right on that.
Also a pro move.
Yeah,
Start
this is what happens when Danley's bored talking about the puppet. Let's get on to something else. That's in case y'all were wondering, that's what happened there. Okay, we put a lot of thought into this, but I think we've maximized what we can get out of it for now. Yeah. So, Alana, what kind of tea are you having today, and what can you tell us about it? What sort of rating does it have?
So today we have a peppermint tea. My stomach was a little iffy today, so peppermint's a great way to balance the waters, as it were. And so let me describe this a little bit.
Nobody says
they do.
Who says that other than tea
Oprah.
people on Reddit?
Dang it,
Oprah.
Yeah.
Balance
That's where I
your
get my
inner
quotes
water.
from. Okay. Grown in Washington and Oregon, the aromatic mint leaves we've selected taste so fresh and delicious. What's up? That it requires no accompaniment. The whistling, cool freshness of simple yet classic peppermint from the great Pacific Northwest is yours to enjoy.
It sounds like a Preparation H commercial there.
From the Northwest?
Hey, maybe they got specific, issues. Okay.
Peppermint preparation. That sounds terrible.
Yikes.
Is your water
that's
upset? Calm your waters down with the Peppermint Preparation H tea.
All right, it smells like, I'll give you one guess.
Peppermint?
Correct.
Nailed it.
I was going to guess sorghum.
That would have been a terrible guess.
All right, so it's an herbal, so there's no body here. It kind of just slips through, waves to you as it passes down the tube like a lazy river.
The tube?
And it settles
Excellent.
a little bit in the back of the throat with the peppermint, but it's not too strong. I didn't steep it too long. So this is wonderful after a hard day or a tummy ache.
Or you've been given a ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
How would you describe the
How
mouth
upset
feel?
are your waters?
What? The mouthfeel? Smooth. There's no stickiness, no little hands trying to grab on for survival.
Okay.
Oh, gross.
I'm not letting this one go. Were you just given a ventriloquist dummy? Does your son want an evil dummy to pull pranks on you at night?
Then what's your
We've
suggestion?
got a tea for you.
We've got a tea for you. From Washington and Oregon comes Preparation H the tea.
Yes.
What's the
ready.
rating?
Yeah, how was it?
Yeah, what's the rating?
I'll quit riffing.
Which direction are these thumbs thrusting?
Definitely up. I
Okay.
would say it's a balmy thumbs up. You might expect me to say
London.
minty, but it's balmy. It's soothing. It's not
No.
like it's not a bam.
I don't think you know what
It's
balmy
like-
means.
Yeah.
Balmy is like a bummer, kind of. I
Yeah.
think.
Balm.
Balm. Yeah, like
Like balmy, like London, like balmy London. It's like foggy and
gross.
No.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
disgusting.
No.
It's like heavy
Balm.
Yeah.
heat.
Balm,
Balm is healing.
Like a-
Oh,
Look it up.
she's making it her own word. Just
well,
go with
okay,
it.
hold on.
No.
Yeah,
Hold on.
balmy
Ju-
thumbs
you
up.
mean,
Stick with it.
You mean like a
It's a
salve? It's like a salve?
Yeah, a
Yes.
salvy thumbs up.
Gross.
Yes.
It's even worse.
I'm sticking with it. Look
it
it
is
up.
it is an
Well,
herbal
just like-
tea.
So it
Just
feels
like Preparation
soothing.
H. It's coming full
It
circle,
sounds
guys.
so medicinal.
A balm, not so much in taste, but in how it makes you feel.
that
Yes.
Yes.
I think I understand.
it's medicinal then.
No,
No.
No.
just balmy.
That was so wrong, Lucas.
Because medicinal gives like a, you think of it's like an earthy or like bad taste, but this is just, it's a balm on the nerves and the tummy. How about that?
And it goes down like a water slide. I really liked that.
Just it goes down like a water slide, just zip right down the tube. The very nondescript tube. which
Yeah.
I'm supposing the tube is the throat. Yes? Is this
Correct.
the tube? Okay. Great.
Yep.
So it's like
Okay.
doing down a lazy river on a balmy day.
Yes.
I wish I had a drink.
It sounds terrible. It sounds
wouldn't mind-
absolutely
I
terrible.
wouldn't mind some tea.
Okay. Well, what
Well,
are
I
you
got
gonna
a
do?
recommendation for you.
Okay. What was the company again that made it?
It's Celestial Seasonings, which is actually in Colorado. When I used to live there, we toured it, and they actually have a peppermint room where you have to put goggles on because it's so strong.
And then
And
what
it
does
was
Willy
really
Wonka?
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
it's
what
like
does
a-
Willy
it's
Wonka
a
do with
really
the
lame
children?
Wonka
That's what it
tour.
felt like. It was so cool. So if you're in Colorado, do that.
So my wife has been because we have a child. She's
Yes.
been worried about her production, and so we've been.
I'm
we've
with
been-
you. She's not, but I got you.
Yeah, so we've been purchasing.
Distance.
We've been purchasing mother's milk tea.
Yep. Yep.
What's in it?
I don't know. It
You should
smells-
review it.
Yes, you should.
No,
Nope.
you.
Oh,
Yeah,
him.
you know what? I've got plenty. We'll send you
It's
some.
like dehydrated milk.
No, it's not. It's a tea that's supposed
No.
to help with production.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
can
Has-
you be more specific?
Has it worked?
It's just an
Nope.
herbal tea
with
that
milk
has
Okay.
production.
it like a special. It's like a special concoction of herbs that's supposed to help mothers produce
got
milk so that
sorghum.
they can continue to breastfeed.
yeah. Yeah, that's it. So we've got a lot
That
of
sounds
mother's milk.
medicinal.
It does
So
sound
are
medicinal.
you
but this is
refusing
the
to
same,
say what's in it? Because right
No,
now
I
you
don't
just
know
said
what's in
there's
it.
a tea.
I don't know what's in it. It's herbal stuff. But this is the same company that makes throat coat.
Yeah.
Which so it's the same company that
What do you
makes
think
throat
about
coat.
throat
They
coat?
make intense stuff.
But this smells intense. Like I can
Yeah.
smell it from the other. It's got to steep for 15 minutes. This mother's
yep,
milk
yep.
tea.
They don't.
Is
mess
it
around.
working?
And he
You don't
seems
know?
the baby seems
Is
happy.
your child being fed?
Yeah, like she.
Yeah, he's
she
chunky.
goes
You're
into
not going to do a measured test.
It's
to-
not now.
to-
Look,
to-
I had my mammary glands taken out. We've been very open about that on this podcast.
Come here,
Like, I
honey.
don't-
We got to go to the barn real quick.
They're, it's it seems to be. He seems very happy. She's satisfied
Okay.
with her product.
Good.
But
Perfect.
you know, they have she has a
So,
couple of cups of it,
what
but
would
it's
you
the
rate this
same.
You
tea?
should ask Kirsten not to watch this one.
Oh no, wait,
Oh,
I
boy.
I told her I was like. You know, we've got the tea time.
gonna
crime,
talk
and
about
she's like,
mother's
Are you
milk."
going to send mother's milk to Alana? I was like, no, I've got other things that I'm going to send to Alana. And she goes, well, you're doing something jerky to Meagan.
Yeah. Thank you. I hope Kristen is listening to this. Hi, Kristen.
We're making her kid's dream come true. That's not a jerk move.
No, not at all. I hope one day someone will also make my kid's dream come true by putting
And
something
I
in
hope
my
he
house.
wants a ventriloquist dummy and a drum set and everything. I'm
Can I,
ready to go.
I can't tell you how much like a drug transaction it was to get that ventriloquist dummy because I hate it and I hate having it. And so it was like this thing because I don't do
carried it.
puppets, I don't do dolls, like none of that stuff. And so I'm
This
like
makes it worse that
I'm
you
trying
understand.
to hide it from myself.
he didn't-
And like every time I would open up the back seat of my truck to put something in there, I had it just kind of like sitting up because I had it ready to mail. And I was like, there's no way we're going to get a package to them like 3 or 4 weeks in advance and they're not going to open it.
And he said he wanted an evil one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is off
he
of
did,
Craigslist,
specifically.
so it is.
So like we had to do some,
Both of them.
we had to do some serious searching in order to get this
It was
specific
free.
one. It was not free.
Did you get
It
it
was
from like
not-
a man in an alley and it's
was
haunted?
not-
He was like, please.
No.
Oh my God, did
would
he open
you-
a trench coat and there was
So
just like
there's just a
rows
bunch of
them?
like dangling legs of
Yeah.
hair,
He
pieces
asked-
together. Yeah.
He
No,
asked if we
Oh my
would take
God.
on the curse.
yeah, that's exactly right.
He says that in accepting this doll, you have to take the
I
curse away.
sprinkled some holy water on it and the whole nine.
Okay,
no,
we're
but
good.
That's
the whole
true. You're a
thing was-
reverend. You probably canceled it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But the
Yeah,
whole
but
thing,
I'm there too.
The whole thing about the whole thing about it, the reason it felt like a drug transaction is because it's something that I'm ashamed that I have and am terrified that someone else is going to discover. And so like I'm hiding it.
Open your trunk and
yeah, like there it is. And so we had it originally. We had it in Kirsten's car, and so my mom was helping us out with Levi.
Oh, no.
And so she just opens up the trunk, and she's got this stroller that she's gonna put in there, and she opens up the trunk, and she goes and throws the stroller. Like, what's the matter? She's like, why is there an evil puppet? And this looks like, she goes, this looks like one of those stupid things from those terrifying, scary books y'all used to read. And I was like,
is. You're
actually,
like,
it's
exactly.
that,
It is.
it is
Meet
that
Slappy.
exact one. Which, so Slappy's been terrorizing parents now for over 20 years. And now we're back on a topic Danley has no interest in.
Yeah, Danley's done. We need to get on something else.
Segue.
Yeah,
What else you got?
Go ahead, Dan.
What else tongues are good for is talking about different things.
Don't want to go down that road too far.
So you guys just celebrated a year of the Tea Time Crimes podcast. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That was pretty awesome. We noticed that there was a giveaway that you guys did. You're also starting to do some TTC merch, which is pretty exciting. So give us
Yeah.
kind of the update on what the status of affairs is for the Tea Time Crimes podcast and what you guys have planned for year 2.
As much as your status.
Yes.
We're all
Yes,
going
Megan,
British
what is
today.
our status?
Oh, all right. I'm supposed to take this. We don't really have much of one except we're just going to keep going. And I'm asking Alana just to do everything she can when I'm done researching. So we're hoping to get, like I said, we're hoping to get some merch out. We're hoping to continue doing the episodes. We're hoping to have you guys on. I have such a good case. I can't wait. I've saved it
Oh,
especially
really?
for you two. So I'm
Oh,
hoping that you
nice.
guys will be on soon.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're trying to find a date that works. I am so stoked about getting to do some collaborations with you guys. We mentioned on an episode that was just the two of us that we were working on something, and we've got a couple of Disney movies where we're going to review the movie and the actual fairy tale that's behind them together, which
Especially if it's grim.
Okay, so most of them
Yes.
are
Yeah.
grim, and I read one of the stories to Kirsten, and she was like, are you gonna have to earmuff Alana to read her a fairy tale? I was like, actually, maybe we might have to, especially if she just comes in like a wind sprint at the end of it. She's like, hey, look, everything's fantastic. We're like, no, everyone died.
Great
They all died horrible
Brutally.
deaths. Sil. So.
Great.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm curious about some of the like you've done a year of cases. And I know, like, Alana, you've mentioned, or Meagan has mentioned on the show that Alana has started to kind of build up this tolerance to just the idea of true crime, that you're getting it every once in a while now. and even-
Microdosing.
yeah, you're microdosing on it, right? Just like you are with your little mushrooms. That you're starting to build up this tolerance to it. Meagan, is that opening up new cases for you to go through? Because I think last time we talked, you said you had like a spreadsheet of cases that you were going to go through. So is this opening up new cases for you, or are you finding new things in order to kind of put into the show and into your new episodes?
Yeah, I think what it is that I'm understanding her boundaries just a lot better. When I first started, I wasn't sure, and now I've got to test the waters a little bit. So the biggest thing I've learned from her is that if it happened a long time ago, she really doesn't care at all.
It's more
Terrible.
of a story then.
Terrible things could happen, and so
Yes.
like I can basically, I'm like, oh, it's after this time period, it can really be anything.
Yeah, go for
So
it.
it's really just the more, well, current isn't even. I would say anything after 1960, I got to be careful about. And that's when I have to put it through the lens of, will Alana cry and be upset with me? So she won't really cry. She doesn't
I was
really
going to
cry.
say,
She's
has
not a
this
crier.
happened?
She's not a
two,
crier.
two generations, and it's just
Sorry, folks.
Anything before the hippies, and Alana just doesn't count them as people.
Exactly. So like even
yeah,
when I
okay,
get into
that makes sense.
1980s, which is, still a long time ago now, it's not in her head, and she doesn't love it. So
I
I,
mean,
have to be
They're
careful.
too real.
The 1980s, I think, is when all of us were founded. right? I think we're
Yeah.
all 80s babies.
Oh,
so-
no, not her.
Oh,
Just-
really?
I'm a
She's
90.
a baby.
You're okay, so you're the same age as my little sister. She's
Yep.
also a 90.
Yeah. Easy to
Wow.
calculate how old you are.
That's for some people. I've heard you do some maths, and I'm curious.
Yeah, it's like, do you just remember your age? I don't do the math every time. That'd be
Yeah,
ridiculous.
because you don't have an even zero.
I actually had a moment today where I found out, I had one of those old moments where someone brought up Mr. Bill, and I said, oh, yeah, Mr. Bill. Oh, no. And no one had any idea what we were talking
Just
about.
no
That's the
clue
worst.
at all.
Do you guys
Wait,
know
what-
Mr. Bill?
Almost. Give me a little bit more.
Saturday Night Live. That's pretty much all he says, I think, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that's it.
kinda-
That's
Okay.
it.
But
Yes.
anyways,
That's the line.
that's a non sequitur.
Yeah, it was indeed. That was a sequitur that went nowhere. That was a terrible segue, Dan.
I wasn't trying to segue.
Minus
I even
You
one.
called
did
it out as a
segue.
non sequitur. Shut it down.
Yeah.
That is concluding Mr. Bill talk.
So, but you are finding out kind of like where that threshold is what some of the historical stories and that kind of
Walt
stuff.
Disney
Yes.
World was opened in 1965. Maybe it's related.
Oh wow! So this is actually it's
Anyone that did not know about
PD?
Disney
Go to
World,
Disney.
Disneyland, don't care about them.
then that makes sense.
Sorry.
Yeah. So,
Well,
but
she doesn't like certain details either. Like I don't go into a lot of details about certain things.
I'm very
gloss.
detail oriented.
You are?
Yeah, I want to know. Am I?
well, that's
All right.
yeah. That I don't know that's entirely accurate. After listening to a couple of the episodes recently, it does seem like you guys are striking a bit of a balance between kind of the I guess the women that run rackets and the women that are murderers. So there'll be like a week where there's like a serial killer, and then there'll be a week like last week, or I guess this week, the episode that came out yesterday, where it's, this lady who is
Frederica.
Queen
yeah,
of
there you go. The
Thieves.
Queen of Thieves, who ends up just like running this entire fencing racket out of New York as an immigrant. So how are you, like, I'm wondering now, where are you coming up with these stories? Because these are like really, 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 really obscure and where they fall in like their historical context. Whereas some of the ones like you've done in the past, like Jolly Jane, those are sort of in, the zeitgeist of people that study serial killers. The Queen of Thieves is like outside of all of that. So where are you finding that stuff?
Oh,
Or is
she
it
doesn't.
finding
She
you?
can't. She can't know about it. So I spend hours
Hours.
just searching and like pulling on strings. And when I found out
Ventriloquist
about
strings.
Frederica when I did one of our earlier episodes for St. Clair,
Yeah.
and somebody mentioned it. And so anytime there's a mention, I write it down and then I circle back to it at a later time. So a lot of things are connected that you wouldn't necessarily expect, and I kind of just pull on those strings and see where it leads me. And there's, I'm lucky. There's an audiobook for this one. There's lots of. I listen to audiobooks at 2 times. the speed.
2x.
No way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
So-
can we discuss this really quick?
Yes.
Because you can absolutely tell a difference between 1.1 and 1.2.
No, you
I agree.
can't.
Yes,
yeah,
you can.
I agree too.
You absolutely can. You can hear
is faster.
natural pauses on 1.1. 1.2, the natural pauses go away.
No, here's what it is. It's something to where people that can't listen to something at 1.4, where they can go, no, I listen to stuff at 1.2. And
You don't listen to it at 1.4,
and
so why are you bringing that up?
Because this is where it starts. Is because this is the participation trophy of like, oh, you listen to an
I listen-
audiobook
you
with a
listen to
little
it
bit
fast,
of fast.
1.2.
Oh, good
Oh, good
job.
job.
And they actually don't change anything.
I
but,
listened to it at 1.25.
Whoa.
I've upped it a little bit.
Can't go past 1.1. It ruins the story, the like ambiance,
I agree.
Yeah, I don't listen to podcasts at that speed. I listen to those at normal speed. But
Yeah, I can't do
audiobooks,
that.
I can do up to 2.2.
Ugh.
See, I can go 2 on the audiobooks, and I'm working my way up on the podcast because I'm at least 1.75 on the podcast.
That's
all
so
the time.
terrible. We must sound like we're.
We have to listen
Hello,
to it
everybody. This
that
is
way.
Meagan, Alana from Town Cross. We're going to sound like that here.
Yeah,
Must be
I wouldn't.
awful.
I wouldn't retain any of that.
That's
No.
okay.
Maybe
I'm
he
not
doesn't
capable
want
of
to.
that, at least yet.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay,
Is
but
he a
I'm
true fan?
so let's find out if I'm a true fan.
Uh-oh.
The Crimean War fought primarily
You got a lot of-
on
Just
the
reading.
Crimean Peninsula between the Russian and the British, French, and Ottoman Turkish Empire. Here's
You
why.
just read that.
Here's
That's-
why.
that
Here's why
doesn't
I'm reading
prove
this.
anything.
Here's why I'm reading this because
reference.
of all of the wars that Alana does not know about, the Crimean War seemed like it was of foremost in the mind because it had to do with this week's episode. And was a little blip.
Wow.
Yeah, so we are paying attention, ladies and gentlemen, and I do have the wiki pulled up right now from Britannica because I felt like it was a better source on exactly
Did
what
Heather send
happened
you
in the
this
Crimean War. No, Heather doesn't send me notes. Heather can't even listen to the podcast whenever I listen to it. Like if I'm listening to it in the office, she's like, "You have to turn it off because I can't do
Yeah,
it."
that's fair if it's at that speed.
Yeah. And she'll walk in, like when we were prepping for today's episode, she walked in
You're
while
in-
I was listening to the audiobook of Rhythm of War. And she walks in
No,
and I'm
you
listening
do that
to
to
it.
Rhythm of War?
Hey, you're fine.
Wow.
So I'm listening to it, and as soon as Heather walks in, she comes in and she's like, I'm like, all right, well now that's now it's become difficult
You
to
and
hear.
your little hummingbird brain. That is too fast. That does not work.
Wow.
It does.
Poor
Yeah, too
Syl.
fast.
It
Poor
does.
Syl and Kaladin.
Well, actually, poor Syl and Kaladin, indeed, right now they're
Oh.
trapped, and I don't want to give too much of it
yeah,
away because I
I'm
don't know
behind.
how far Danley is. in it.
Okay. Are you also on Rhythm of War?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm so lost.
They're not trapped
it's,
yet.
It's
but-
Brandon Sanderson books, a fantasy
Yes.
author.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
And okay,
You should definitely check it out.
So let's dive a little
She
bit
would hate it.
into the fantasy hole for a moment because Alana just recently got done with
let's
her.
go down the water slide
Yes,
of fantasy.
let's go down the water slide of fantasy.
The fantasy
Let's
water
just
slide, some might
Slip
say.
down the fantasy tube. The
Oh, cut.
the balmy tube of fantasy.
Roll it back.
So you have an annual like watching of the Lord of the Rings that
Yeah.
you and your husband do.
that's awesome.
And you
Correct.
recently tried some of the Lord of the Rings teas that were all named
Yeah.
after the Hobbits. So what started this like annual Lord of the Rings tradition for you?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think when we started it. I actually walked down the aisle to Concerning Hobbits by Howard Shore. So it's it's a very they're comfort movies.
I was
for us
there.
at this point. Yeah, she was there. They're comfort movies, and so we love to make it a thing and find one long weekend and just go through all three.
That
and
sounds
yeah, we want to
perfect.
keep it alive and fresh.
But not the Hobbit movies.
No,
No, she was adamant about that, to which Meagan was a little lost.
What sides
Always
go
lost.
with Lord of the Rings and then Lord of the Rings tea?
Oh, this is how I know that you don't listen, Danley, because
asking.
they make themed meals for each
Yeah,
and
baby.
every
Yeah, I
one
wanna
of
know
their
Well,
movies.
look. The point of bringing people on is not just to go. I know everything. Okay, bye.
yeah, I know.
You give them a opportunity to talk. Tell me about your meals.
I
that you
just
make.
want more of your
Go,
segues.
I know about it.
I was hoping for another tongue
I know.
segue about the food that they
Yes.
eat during the Lord of the Rings movies.
No.
go on in that meal.
Yes.
Oh, do you want to know each meal?
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
just,
sure.
Just I'll do one for each movie.
Yeah,
Fine,
just
fine.
for
Mushroom
just
toast.
this year's.
Fellowship.
Toast.
Duh.
Mm-hmm. Is that
Two
like
Towers.
how would you
Is that
describe?
is that a portobello with butter on it, baked?
So yeah. So I mean,
That's a very meaty
gotta get a nice
Describe this on one of our
slab
episodes.
of bread.
Here we go.
Yeah, it does need to be toasted. It depends on the mushrooms. Sometimes we get oyster. Like we
Sometimes
get
she gets
ones from the
poisonous, like-
farmers market, and we roast them up with butter, garlic, thyme, and then so that's a meal. Hobbity. Sometimes Two Towers will do like an Ent draught, just make like a green smoothie essentially.
Okay. Do you
And
think
then
that
Return of the
Ents?
King.
Do you think the Ents
say?
would approve of that?
What about salted pork?
Yeah. And then Return of the King is the creepy Denethor meal.
Ugh. What is
what
that?
does
A
that
strawberry or a tomato or something?
So
I
the
think it's
tomato
tomatoes,
that
right?
drips down his chin while Faramir's.
I never was
Dying.
100% sure if that wasn't blood, that he like bit his own tongue and just he's
Yeah.
just
That's
crazy
it.
enough to
Ugh.
just keep eating.
Yeah, so that's a rundown of the meal. Sometimes we'll throw some extras like lambas bread and stuff like that.
Ooh, lambas bread is a good idea. Which
Okay.
is what? Just
Yeah. What is lambas bread?
unleavened bread?
It's like
Or
hardtack.
It's essentially like it's almost like a scone.
Yeah.
Oh, you had to try hard not to say that word weird, didn't you?
Yes.
A scone?
That's one of our New Zealand words.
I have a few words that are not common. and
Basil
I might
and
say them a
scone
weird way still.
and bagel.
Why? Why would you say
Because
them a
my
weird
mom
way?
is from New Zealand, and before I went to
Your mom's a
school,
Kiwi,
I
huh?
had a Kiwi accent, and so there's some
Huh?
some
that
some
cute?
words like basil or garage or scone that aren't said a lot, and so I sometimes say them weird.
How do you say sheep?
Sheep.
Oh, okay. Well, that was anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Were
Is
you
your
hold
mom-
on? Were you repressing another pronunciation?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It looked like it was.
There's one
Is your
pronunciation.
mom related to the Flight of the Conchords?
Dang it.
I wish.
Bummer.
Well, there ends our quest of
Yeah,
finding finding a connection.
You
sorry.
can tell her missed
Jermaine
opportunity
Clement and-
from us.
Yes,
And
I will.
she was almost related to Flight of the
Britt
Conchords,
McKenzie.
but they were just one pasture over.
That's too bad.
My cousin actually is the second highest female ranking in the military over there, though.
Does she know
Impressive.
Jermaine?
She's like a colonel something.
Sanders? Is she a Colonel Sanders?
No,
They don't have
He's
that.
a colonel
a
something.
rank that's something dash colonel or colonel dash
Lieutenant.
something. It's
I like how you're
essentially
asking
what
us.
a general would be in the American Army. She's that.
She's a
over there.
lieutenant colonel?
Shepherd.
I don't think it's lieutenant.
She's Colonel Shepard?
Anyway,
I'm commander
she's,
of all of the New Zealand sheep.
awesome.
You have the best jokes. It's just some sheep puns.
Yep.
Yep.
Go.
I was waiting for another handcrafted segue.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
I'm just
come on,
bored.
man.
I think we
Okay.
all were.
This is just right.
I want rapid fire.
Okay.
Let's keep going. Something cool. What's up?
Something cool. What's
What
up?
you got?
So we've talked a little bit about how you guys have moved from
I like this.
Yep, from doing just murder stuff. They're finding more of a balance between like murders and some of the crimes that Alana may be a little bit more interested in. I'm wondering when there's one lady in particular, and I hesitate to bring this up, but I do know that as soon as it gets brought up, that it'll be something that you both have probably thought about, though maybe I'm curious as to why we haven't done an episode on it, and that is Harriet
Wait, does
Tubman.
she need to earmuff?
No.
Okay.
No, because I think as soon as you guys started, if you did a Harriet Tubman episode, everybody
Oh.
would want to know about it. I also think it would be one that Alana would be into because
Yeah.
Is she a secret murderer?
is Harriet
Wait,
but Harriet,
Harriet
Tubman
Tubman.
is for that day and time, she is like one of the biggest criminals during her era because of what she did with the Underground Railroad, because she was protecting slaves and things like that. And there's a lot of the women that they cover that the crimes that they were but the crimes that they were tried for then would not necessarily be
iffy.
crimes now. And
Yeah, 'cause
so many
she's
of
a
them were like
hero
helping.
now.
Yeah. So many of them were like helping to make ends meet for themselves, their communities or their neighborhoods or whatever. So I'm curious, have you thought about doing some stories like that of, kind of the well-known female outlaw, or are you hesitant to do those because Alana would know about them?
So I hadn't thought about Harriet Tubman because I guess I just don't consider her an outlaw. I get what you're saying. I just consider her a hero. But I try to space it out. I try to like give Alana a gift and then really space
Throw
it
me a
out for a
bone
while. Yeah.
Before
so,
she stabs me in the back of the knee.
yeah. So like
That's a soft
I
bit.
did Frederica because I just done the eyeball gouging and I
Yes.
felt like I had to. Cause then you guys haven't heard it yet. But then the
Oh
week after.
my goodness.
Brutal, huh?
Just
It's
wait.
pretty rough.
Just wait.
Yeah. And I said, I can't earmuff you for this because it is crucial.
But I get
the
back
cake.
at her in that very same episode. So
Yeah. So you wait till next week and it will have aired by the time this airs. But
Yes.
the one directly after Frederica, really, I have to balance it out just to appease her. But that's a good one. I like that suggestion.
Because
That opens up a whole new world.
yeah, I think there are some really cool lady outlaws throughout American
Okay,
history.
I'm curious.
Okay, Harriet Tubman, I think is a big one. Annie Oakley would be another one.
Yeah.
Right.
We did Pearl Hart.
Yeah, you did, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And so there are
Oh, I
some
like
of
that
those
one.
that are like these legends, in the young history of our country that would kind of fall into
Who was the one that married
category.
Pecos Bill?
Who was the one that married Pecos? I don't know. I'm not sure.
know
I'm
any
not
of those
up on
words.
my. Yeah, you don't know who Pecos Bill is?
I don't know any of those words.
What?
Pecos Bill is we are from
is he a
Texas.
Texan?
He's sort of just
Yeah,
like
he is. He's a myth.
Yeah, like a Western myth.
He lassoed a tornado and rides it around. He was raised by coyotes, and he marries a river lady.
Slewfoot
Is he white
Sue.
or Native American?
He's
marries,
white.
Yeah, but he marries Slewfoot Sue.
Yeah.
So
She sounds
And
great.
she's a tough lady too.
she is. Her hide's
Let's
made
look
out of
her
boot
up.
leather. Yep. So they're
Yeah, it is a Texan thing, I think, and now
Yeah,
thinking about it,
settled.
Texas,
It's a
New
Texas
Mexico.
thing.
Well, it's Southwest, so Texas, New Mexico, Southern California, Arizona.
Hey, Southern California, that's you.
That
Yeah.
is
You
ever
me.
ran
I
into
have
Sue?
never heard that.
You've never heard of
No.
Pecos Bill? All right. Well, maybe that'll be one of the other things that we've got to cover whenever we come in.
The legend of Pecos Bill,
There-
and his horse Widowmaker.
Yep, that's the truth.
It was named Widowmaker because any man that tried to ride that horse became a widow, or what is it?
Just like when you
The
change
wife
the
became a
thing
widow.
in the
Yeah, yeah.
car now, right?
The,
The thing?
Oh yeah,
We changed the
you
thing.
do have
when
I know
you
what you
change
mean.
the thing in the
Yep.
car.
The jack.
Your air
the
filter.
jack to prop up
It's
a
also
car.
called a
Oh
Widowmaker.
yeah. The
Mm.
Widowmaker jacks. Yep. 'Cause
Funny
they will-
story. It's named after Pecos Bill.
Oh my gosh.
I don't believe
Pecos
you.
Bill's horse. It's named after Pecos Bill's horse.
Widowmaker.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah.
You covered something in the episode that you were talking about previously with the eyeball, where as Alana's blinking, Alana actually guessed that it was an eyeball. Megan was
Yeah.
trying to work
I don't
around
like
it. She was
eyes
like, they
either.
found a
I have a
marble,
Bruce imagination.
like
That's
a
the
marble
problem.
shaped something in the story, and Alana's like, it was an eyeball, and she's like, yes, it was an eyeball. Good job.
I also don't like eyes. I
That
don't want to hear
also
about
was
eyes.
not nearly the most gruesome part of that story.
That part in Hostel, that movie.
I've never seen Hostel.
Don't watch Hostel.
Yeah, okay, not on the list.
I promise you we haven't.
Yeah, for sure. No.
Good.
Def not. Def
Megan,
not.
and
Alana should definitely never watch
yeah,
it.
Megan
Never.
and
No.
Meagan have both not watched Hostel.
Yeah.
So when you're dealing with a case that has to do with what some people would consider if it's actually true, right? This very, very, very weird and specific mental illness, right? How do you approach trying to sort through all of the material about that? And then if you want to explain what the mental illness was these two
I wanna
sisters
know.
supposedly suffered from and what happened there, because this seems like just one of the stickiest situations to try to explain for a crime, especially when some court records are sealed. Will you kind of walk us through your process on that? And what the
Sure.
illness was so that Danley knows about
No,
it.
so our listeners can know.
So that our listeners can know.
It's the same condition that
and
Megan
the
and I have.
co-host. Oh, wow.
Shared psychosis.
Shared psychosis. Yeah. So, I mean, no, I don't think anyone truly knows what was 100% going on. This
Sure.
is about an episode where two sisters murdered they were domestic servants and they murdered their, I don't know, employer and her daughter violently. And they were pretty demure women up until that point and pretty demure women after. So it was very confusing. And so the best they could come up with was it was probably a shared psychosis where they just created this third personality between the two of them and they just couldn't control their rage and their behavior, and it can lead to hallucinations and outbursts and things like that.
Just like-
so
Slightly
Just like-
violent behavior.
Just like Shalon.
Yeah, or like Voltron.
Oh,
And Shalon.
these are all
Yeah,
nerdy
like
references.
Voltron. Like
Oh,
all
I
the
see, yeah.
animals have to come together
Shalon
in
is
order
a
to
good
make
one.
Voltron.
Yeah.
Or like the Power Rangers, the mighty, as my dad calls them, the mighty morphed up Power Rangers.
love Power Rangers.
Yeah. So, but the idea that that two people can create like one personality and also are almost
Yeah, that
act
is
in like a
bizarre.
symbiotic kind of
yeah.
way in order to, and in this case, what they believe perpetrate a pretty violent crime.
Yeah, very violent.
It sounds like a convenient explanation. No, whenever we're together, there's just another person that comes out and they do it.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Go ahead. I think it would be, except for the way that the women are described, which is really bizarre that this came out. So how do you handle, like, not just explaining that on the show, but then trying to sort through all the mess of what that actually is?
Well, I do my best to take a look at what happened, and then it's really tough because their mental illness. I don't want to want to treat it in a respectful way, and I want to also throw that out there as a theory so that people could try to understand maybe what was going on, if there was something like that going on. So I try to find all the theories that are out there, and if there were any psych evals, so I can see the diagnosis that they were given, and then I just like to talk about that and what that might look like, just to throw it out there as a possibility. I don't know what happened. I don't think we know the whole story. I don't think we're going to. There's a big piece of that story that we're not talking about right now that really factors into it as well. It could be part of the issue. So I think that it's important to look back and try to understand why, especially women who are who are not out for the lust of violence, why they're behaving like this, so that you can help others in the future. You can help others heal from it, and you can help you can cut it off at the pass, essentially, if you get no more information. And they have the shared psychosis. There's other documented instances of this happening. Usually it's between twins. These were just sisters, but they're essentially,
they look really
they look like twins. And
yeah. So is this piece of it you're talking about that we're not talking about? You're talking about, like, I'm assuming you're talking about like some kind of shared trauma in the background, right?
Shared trauma, but also they are rumored to have a relationship together.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Right? Yeah. They're rumored to possibly have been
an incestuous
girlfriend and girlfriend.
couple. Yeah.
And sister and sister.
And
So
sister and
that's not
sister.
okay.
That's a whole nother layer, right? I mean, I don't know. That's that complicates things. So there's probably stuff before that shared psychosis. There are probably is a diagnosis before that shared psychosis that nobody ever unearthed, right? And they probably both sustained some pretty terrible trauma as children. I mean, they grew up in a Catholic orphanage, and 1920 probably wasn't great. And we know that their father was abusive to their older sister. So I have to imagine, there's a lot going on there that we just can't unpack in an hour. So I just try to paint a broad picture as much as I can to look at it from different angles.
That is a lot to unpack. And all of that was before Disneyland was built.
So why did Alana have to be
okay.
earmuffed? Yeah, she should have been fine.
I think I made the right call there.
I do too. There, we talked last time about how there's got to be like a buddy system in place for some of these episodes to know, like, hey, this is when to turn it off. So, and that is essentially like what my wife and I have, because we learn a lot of stuff through listening to the Tea Time Crimes podcast. Like, for instance, Dan, did you know that cops are called cops because they used to have badges made out of copper?
They're the coppers.
There she goes.
Yep.
No, I can't say that I did know that.
I found it out on an educational episode of Tea Time Crimes, talking to me about the Queen of Thieves.
Why were they called
We're here for the
patties?
kids.
Why were they called patties?
Yes, they're like the patties are coming. Patty wagon.
But I don't know. They didn't get to.
I have more
that
cop
part.
questions.
So we'll have Alana Google them during the break.
Yeah.
So there's some of that stuff that we really enjoy, but the gruesome stuff, like Kirsten she's like, nah, I'm out. And I think since she's become a mom, that she's even more sensitive to it than she used to be, where she's just like, yeah, now I have like no interest in some of these stories. But like the Queen of Thieves and things like that, there is a fascination with. When you are, you okay, Camden? I don't know if y'all heard that or not. Our producer in the background just goes, dang it. Sweet young Camden. So there's a lot of stuff that gets sorted through, and making the decision on what to earmuff Alana on, where you essentially, for people who don't listen to the show, or really fans who haven't listened to the show yet, because we really encourage you to do it, it is great. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, but there is an element of that too. It is that, like, if you're not okay with true crime and you don't listen to it with gruesome stuff, like, I'll send a text message to a couple of my friends that listen to it. I'm like, hey, turn it off at 20 minutes. Fast forward to 25, and then you'll be good. And there is something about like the community that y'all have built that's really, really interesting within podcasting. like our podcast, just because we do so many interviews and so many different things, like we hit on a lot of different areas, but y'all have really started to build a really fun little online community with the people who are commenting on your posts and things like that. Like, what's that been like over the course of the last year as you watch your show grow? What's that community get built and enter into, the top 10% of podcasters in the world? You guys are achieving some pretty cool things. What's that journey been like for y'all?
Wow, am I taking this? I mean, I think when we started, we weren't sure what to expect. And then, it was, we're like, I guess we need social media. I guess we'll put this on. And we're on many social medias, as Meagan doesn't like to call out. So it's been really neat to see, like, wow, people are still listening. And it feels like once people find us, they like us, because I mean, like, I don't like true crime either. And so it's great because it's the anti-true crime and the lovers of true crime. And it's fun to see them mix, and like the reactions to stuff is a spectrum. So I think that's a lot of fun. So it's just kind of been building as we've been building it as well, to see, hey, like, people are listening and people are appreciating this. And it's kind of wild. It's been really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the coolest part for me is like the Alanas of the world, people who normally wouldn't listen to this stuff, they get to hear really cool stories.
Yeah.
That they would normally shy away from, but because of the way that we tell it, because of the certain kinds of stories that we find, that they're able to kind of listen, and I that's interesting.
Yeah, and we blend the humor in, I think, is a big part. So it's not so serious or so depressing. I mean, sometimes they are, but I would say those are the more rare ones.
You always bring us back.
Cheers.
That
was supposed to be my mug, but it was too far.
Yeah, I do think the wind sprint comparison might be one that's pretty accurate, and
I think so too.
In the way
the
that
honor sprint,
that
Ooh.
We kind of like flip the, once stuff gets dark, that there's So this is a Brandon Sanderson reference, and to throw to bring Meagan into the fold here. There's a character in one of the book series in the Stormlight Archives who is an honor sprint. She's like a fairy, basically, and she is one of the children of honor. She's a very moral character, but she also is like discovering herself and her surroundings. And so even when weird things happen, she's like, oh, why was there so much blood? Do all humans bleed like that? And so it's this weird, like, she's fascinated. She's curious about everything. Yeah,
it is. Oh my God, I'm still.
Congratulations.
Wow, I need to put on a blue dress.
Yep. Yeah. And even in the moments
there are
where
definitely worse characters to be compared to.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Scylla's awesome.
Yeah. And even in the moments where like she's in the darkest, where she's, thinking about the bad things that have happened in the past, she like snaps out of it and she's like, I'm tired of thinking about this. Let's go do something else. And so
or she gets bored and she flies up in the wind for a little while.
Yeah. There's this quality to all of it that even though you're dealing with some very traumatic and very dark things, you guys never let it get to the point where that is the tone of the episode at the beginning.
Meagan
or
is Yasna.
Yeah, maybe.
What's that? Tell me more.
She's
Go ahead.
She's an awesome character.
Well, she's the queen.
She is the queen.
Spoiler alert, but
yep.
You're not gonna spoil a thing.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she is. She's incredibly scholarly.
She's powerful, very scholarly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And tends to be like the most brilliant person in any room that she walks into. I think
absolutely.
Worst comparisons could be made.
Our podcast personas are so different from our real life personas. This is like so amusing to me.
It is kind of funny.
It's kind of fun to watch how some of that stuff happens. As we have called y'all to your emails and to our friends, the princesses of podcasting. Your style and stuff that you've brought across, does that like reflect, because you said your actual personas, your podcasting personas are very different. Does that like reflect what your friendship is like? Is y'all's friendship different maybe with one another than how it is with other people?
I'd say it's the same. It's just like, what's the word? Like bigger.
Nailed it.
Maximized, fortified. Hold on.
Amplified.
Yeah.
Our friendship is exactly how you hear it. I think that's something I try to maintain too as we're recording, like this total authenticity, because we have sometimes problems where something didn't go well, and I'm like, well, we can't ever re-record because I need Alana to be Alana, and I can't have she has to just be genuine in the moment, and so
I'm
like
really
that's
bad
super
at
important.
acting.
Yeah,
really
that
bad
too. Yeah, but also it's just there's like that lightness. I want it to be captured, but our friendship is the same. I would just say like in Alana's professional life, she's like lean and mean and no nonsense, and and then I don't know. I'm a little bit more of like, hey, how do I log into my computer? It's a little bit reversed.
Yeah.
I do think that applies to you in some ways as we're drawing some of those parallels because on the show you are always trying to flip the switch to change the rails that the car is on.
Yeah,
like as we're going, but you do not do that at work.
No.
At work,
people don't know my full name at work.
No, they don't. Like he worked at a place for almost a year, and somebody came up and they're like, "You have a son?" And he's like, "Yes, I have a kid." Like we didn't know that about you, and he was like, "How did you find out?"
I need to stop that leak.
Yeah, like exactly. Well, you hired one of your friends, and she also told us your full name was.
She
Danley.
told everybody everything.
Yeah, like your name is twice as long as what we thought it was.
She ruined it. I had to quit. I went to a different place.
Yeah, so there is a lot. And also when I get the after work phone call from Danley, it tends to be like there's so many problems within the system that need to be fixed so that we can be operating at optimal. And I'm like, why don't you allow us to to run at optimal during the podcast?
You don't let me.
Yeah, because this is not what I want to do.
You're just being a sill over there and
just doing whatever. So it is kind of cool to see how y'all's friendship that translates and it isn't something that is in particular when you look at like podcast demographics, right? So you guys have been doing this for a year now. We're almost at the end of year 3 for us. For us doing this. And one of the things that we've decided to get further and further into is like checking out like what the demographics that we appeal to are, how that works. I find that our show, it really depends on the guest as far as like who we bring on says a lot about like who's going to listen to our show.
I was thinking that today. It must be hard for you guys.
So there are times when it is, but even like our shows where we don't have guests, it's a different audience even than some of the guests that we have because they want to... We were stunned by this and we got this feedback that people were like, hey, we really like it when it's just you two. And we're like, wow. Because
I do too.
Yeah, like here's the list of people that don't like it when it's just us. Our wives, our friends, co-workers, people that we know on a first name basis.
Our parents for years.
Yeah, our parents. Anyone who we allow in the back door of our house that doesn't have to go to the front. Like anybody that knows us is like, well, I don't want to listen to the ones where it's just y'all. And
I've heard it before.
So there's this sort of balance that we're trying to figure out with those things. And yet with y'all's show, it seems like anybody that we present it to, whether male, female, it doesn't really matter if we have a group of friends that's interested in just listening to something fun, that we can turn them onto you guys and they just tend to love it. They love the energy, they love the stories and the friendship that you guys have and the way that you've captured it. Are you finding, again, going back to the community that you're creating online, are you finding that is tending to be what you're seeing in your online space, that you're just getting at a bunch of people that are fascinated with, storytelling, that want to hear two friends have a podcast, and that's the type of community that you're starting to build?
I mean, I think it's a balance between some people are there for the banter, and then they'd like a cool story, as a bonus. And then some people are like, I am a true crime enthusiast and I want stories.
They're really into metal too.
Yeah. No joke. All of a sudden, those people got like really, really evil. I'm a true crime enthusiast.
They got a whole room of dummies out.
Yeah.
I want to know how to get away with my thing.
Yeah.
But again, it's that blended community. Like you're talking like, your wife is like me and doesn't want to hear those bits. And it's just cool to hear like people reply to our stories or our posts, and it's just like I said, the spectrum of responses are so fun. It's a very community of just diverse answers, and it makes it more fun. So it's not all true crime lovers, not all true crime haters. It's kind of that blend, right? I don't know.
Well, some days
and Dan's board.
You bugged on that answer.
Got him.
Like as I just imagine that like I'm in your head sometimes, and that like as Alana's talking, you've just got a balloon and you're going and like just slowly watching it deflate, and you're like, I'm gonna end this conversation.
Lost him.
That is not. I keep thinking about we need to hook you guys up with our sponsor, Mom's Turn. I think you guys would really
Ooh, let me see if
would
I've
really,
got. If I don't know if I've got the
It
copy
would work.
for Mom's
I think
Turn
it would work for you guys.
readily available like I had. So when we first started,
We'll
our
just cut to
show-
the commercial and
Yeah,
we'll show it.
we when we first started our show, we did all of these like fake commercials, and we would come up with these fake products that we thought
awesome.
were hysterical. And one of the ones that we came up with was Mom's Turn. And the premise with Mom's Turn is that it's a box of crayons with a hidden wine compartment. And so so that like when your kid's coloring, you'd be like, no, pass that crayon box over here. It's Mom's
Right,
turn.
it's Mom's turn.
And there's a special color that you just pull out, and Mom can just drink a little bit from the wine box and then just put it back in and
love
push it back
that.
over.
Yeah.
So
they're a longtime sponsor of
yeah,
ours.
so we've had all of these like ideas like that we've just, I don't know, just sort of stowed away.
We put hidden wine compartments in a lot of products.
Yeah, and so
Fair,
so
fair.
Mom's Turn has a whole line of stuff that they do, car seats and like everything, right? So there are
What happens with the car seat?
the
Car seat wasn't a great idea. It got shot down by the Department of Transportation, but
it did. It's really difficult for the cops to find, though, just like a ventriloquist dummy
Which
hidden in the backseat of my truck.
are named after copper that used to make up their badges.
That's exactly
Wow.
right. So there's those things. Well, what we recently did is we found out that because we use Canva for a lot of our graphics. Canva, one of your sweet listeners, the sweet Heather Swan, found out that Canva actually has this like AI that will generate things
Oh,
if
yeah.
you give it a prompt.
That was a fun afternoon.
And so we gave it, hey, there is a crayon box with a hidden wine compartment, an advertisement for a
we
crayon
always
box with a
did-
hidden wine compartment called Mom's
We
Turn.
always did little old lady holding crayon box.
No, that was for
and
the
wine.
Yeah, so they would generate the pictures, but then they also generated that copy, and that's what we put in for the prompts for the copy.
That's awesome.
So we had a ton of this stuff, and
We never got a great picture, but it was always funny.
Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
like ladies
But
trying
it's
to drink out of
insane.
boxes.
Yeah,
like
it's insane.
wooden boxes. It was terrible. We'll have to throw some of those up.
Please.
Plug for
Yeah,
Canva, which
please.
they're not a sponsor, unlike Mom's Turn.
Mom's turn. Take one for you.
You know what? I need to see if I can find a Mom's Turn thing. We'll just have Alana read it at the end in her TTC voice.
My podcasting voice.
Yes. Well, you ladies have been very gracious with your time, and as you well know, as both of our listeners to our show, that we end all of our shows with a segment that we like to call Controlled Rowdiness.
Oh no.
This is just a series of rapid-fire questions. You can answer them with as short or as lengthy an answer as you would like. There are no right answers, but there are several wrong ones, so make sure you don't step on any of those landmines. Expect nothing from us by
we
way
will.
of reply or response. And to get us started, I'm going to send it over to the big man, General Grease.
All right, this is for Alana. Do you think that we as a fan base, as I know that you are going to be happy with the portrayal of Thrawn on the upcoming series? What's it called? Ahsoka.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, well, they're rapid
That's
fire.
it.
I'm curious because I don't know. I really want to. I'm so
I
excited.
think so because Dave Filoni is definitely going to be involved. Obviously, it's Ahsoka, so he's absolutely going to be stuck in there. So he's such a Star Wars fan, like so deep, that I think he will do Thrawn justice.
I think so too.
This
You
question
don't
is for
sound
Meagan.
confident.
No, he's not. That balloon is deflating.
Yeah, he is not mushrooming with confidence. That's...
I'm going to go with yes, it's going to be good. No one asked
I'm going to
me.
go with a sideways thumbs up.
Yeah,
Yes.
give it a
Yeah.
sideways.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yep. How did we rate? We rated some movie based off Alana's thumbs up system that was like 2 apathetic thumbs that cannot be bothered to go up or down. That's how we rated.
Love that.
I think that's how we rated Black Adam, and it was like one of the best posts we've had.
Yeah.
This question is for Meagan. Meagan, do you just hate whenever fantasy or sci-fi stuff gets brought up in general?
No, I don't hate it. I just have no idea what you're talking about.
Do you
It's
have
like another language.
do you have just like no interest in it, or is there some of that stuff that you like but you just don't feel the need to like get into it?
I've never even seen Star Wars. Like I just don't. I've never seen any of it. Can't believe
Do you
I've seen
see
Lord
how
of the
many?
Rings.
So this is Luke burning Vader. It's a print. That is an old concept art of Yavin, like when they're doing the radar gun when they're coming in on Yavin 4. So
I think we all know you're there for it. Yeah, I don't know. Just I don't know. I mean, I guess you could try. We could try to watch one. I'll see what happens.
Maybe
Do a live watch party.
we're doing an upcoming segment with our producer Camden, where Camden has to watch a Star Wars every week, and we have him review them. We might just send Meagan his reviews, and she can watch the movie and then critique Camden's reviews.
Oh. Yeah, your son's probably, it's a good age to get him started on Star Wars. I
Oh,
can
yeah,
give
for
you the
sure.
Instructional guide. We're going not chronologically. We're doing it as they were released.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the machete order.
Yeah, at 6 months old, he should be. He does have a lot of "I'm a future Jedi," and he got to meet a Jedi Master with
Yes.
T.C. Carson.
Yeah.
So
Epic.
you're up.
Okay, Meagan. What historical figure that you've covered would, if you could go back in a time machine and catch them in the act, which one would you choose?
I'm catching them to stop them.
Yes.
Like not hang out, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you're bringing them to justice. Unless you want to hang out with them, I guess you could. I'm not telling you what to do with
some
your
of them are
time.
pretty cool. Who would I want to stop? I mean, gosh, there's so many. Probably Jolly Jane.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Jolly
She's
Jane.
pretty rough.
Yeah.
Jolly
But
Jane.
then there's all the women who killed. Marianne Cotton killed all her kids. You know, that might have been a good one to intercept too.
to hang out with or turn in.
To intercept. Yeah.
We don't want to hang out with these people. Nope.
Like, I would have liked to have caught Helen Ruth Spence and been like, no, don't do it. Let's just go get some coffee.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Alana, would you rather be run over by a Rashadium or have a chamber pot dumped on you?
I'd rather be run over. Absolutely.
Yeah, but those Rashadium are what, like, how big are they than horses?
They're way.
I'd rather just not even live after having a chamber pot thrown on me.
What is
It's,
your?
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, agreed.
Is it?
Have you ever had pee on you? It's not that big a deal.
I mean, squirrel pee, yeah.
It's the same thing. That's what I'm saying. You got so many animals. Once you have a kid, like, forget about it.
Not human adult poop.
Well, we really
No thanks.
upped it.
Squirrel,
Well, hold
squirrel
on.
tinkle.
That's what's coming from the chamber pot.
Hold on. What if it's not coming from the chamber pot? What if what's
just
coming from the chamber pot is human kid poop?
What if it's a little
No,
chamber pot
no
for
human
squirrels?
poop.
What if it's poop before the 1960s?
It's a
That's
it's
worse.
a
That
thimble.
poop is gonna be worse.
Yeah, it's a little
a
thimble.
little squirrel-shaped-
a little thimble chamber pot of squirrels.
That's fine. It's not as gross. Humans are gross. Period.
Yeah, humans are gross. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody wants it, but I'm just saying I would choose it over death.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I could survive. I've broken a lot of bones.
Oh my
You've broken a lot of
Broken bones,
yeah,
chamber
broken
pot.
bones, chamber
Yeah.
pot. Yeah.
Survivable.
Tea Time Crimes on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook. I think that's
Find
all.
us wherever you listen to your podcast.
Oh, yeah. That.
And rate, review, like, subscribe, tell your friends. And who should listen, Alana?
Man. Let's do people from the 1960s. Nobody before then.
It's gonna be easy.
Yeah. How about Brandon Sanderson fans, the Star Wars fans, the Lord of the Rings fans, and let's think people who enjoy modern plumbing, and the Reverend and the Reprobate.
Nice.
There we go.
Sounds good.
Thank you all. Y'all have been absolutely awesome. It's great to have you back on.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I guess. Thank you. I'll let you know how this goes.
We would love to know how that works out.
Okay. Tea time, frickin' crime. Megan and
Wait,
Alana
yours
are
too
always tea time. Megan and Alana are always awesome to have on the show. Make sure
Of
you
course.
check out their newest episodes. Links to all that stuff will be in the show notes. We talked to them for a long time,
Yeah,
so our wrap up's going to be pretty quick.
We went on a road trip for I almost said. Just
ahead.
gotta restart this whole thing.
No, go for
No,
it.
we went on a road trip to
Where'd you go?
somewhere. It was
Austin?
It was Grapevine.
We were on a road trip to Grapevine. We went 30 minutes
This
down
is
the
a
road.
terrible start.
No, it's good. Keep going.
I put on Tea Time Crimes, and it was really awesome.
Yeah, they're phenomenal. They're really great storytellers. They're
Look,
a fun
I'm deflated
listen.
not because of their show, but because of my terrible story.
Just sometimes when I freestyle, I lose Confidence.
I was trying to make it better with it was we went on a trip, but it wasn't really. I think we went to go.
Anytime you're
I
in
think
the
we went
car
to
for
go
more
fix-
than 20 minutes, it's a trip.
We went to go fix my son's passport.
The story's
And we
getting better
listened
and
to it
better
on the
by
way,
the minute.
and we loved it.
So
I'm sorry.
But no, they're awesome. Look for
Don't let
some
my storytelling stop you from listening to theirs.
Tea Time Crimes. We've got some cool collaborations coming up in the future for our YouTube channel, but also for their podcast. So make sure that you check those things out. Links to all that stuff is in the show notes. Thank you all for listening to the Reverend and the Reprobate. Y'all stay hard, keep jamming, and we'll see ya.
Looking for a fun, unique way to surprise your mom this Mother's Day? Look no further than Mom's Turn. The crayon box with a secret wine compartment. We know she deserves to take a break and celebrate, so why not make it easier with Mom's Turn? This cleverly designed box is both stylish and functional, with a bright, colorful exterior that conceals a secret wine compartment. Plus, it comes with a set of crayons, perfect for drawing and coloring, and maybe even a little downtime for Mom. Get Mom's Turn today and let her know how special she is.
That I legit want one.
That's gonna be the newest item on the Tea Time Crimes Etsy shop. is
Mom's Turn
Mom's
crayons.
Turn crayons.
Perfect.
And I'm gonna have Meagan read this one because
Okay.
it is based off of something that Meagan said about Alana's desire to employ all criminals.
I don't recall. Okay. At TTC Employment, we understand that not everyone has chosen a path that is in line with society's expectations. That's why we offer a unique service to help those would-be criminals find employment in dull and monotonous jobs that fit their skill sets. Our experienced staff can help you find a job that is suitable for your abilities so you can have the satisfaction of being gainfully employed. Don't let your past define your future. Contact us today and we'll help you get the job you deserve.
Love it.
So I
Just
believe
like some people could have been bartenders instead of serial killers.
that is exactly what sparked that. This is a job. The prompt was an ad for an employment agency who helps would-be criminals find boring jobs that fit their skill sets, which I believe is like quite nearly the quote